Hey, we're broadcasting live. Let's see if it's working here on Facebook too. Yay, on Facebook, I gotta turn the volume down here. I know what I'm missing. I'm missing my headphones. Hold on a second. I knew I was doing something wrong. So, because I'll get feedback from the speaker if I don't put on headphones. Give me a second. I know people can see me. We're actually live now, even though I don't know what I'm doing.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Do you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you.
I got two different streams going here. Okay. Okay, so I believe we are live. So I'm with my great friend Paul Lowery here. I'm going to introduce him in 1 second. I'm just checking like my video and my mic and my ears and everything. I'm really bad at this video stuff, but I think I'm getting a little better every week. Okay, close enough. What are you going to do? Okay, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope more people join. Tell your friends and come on and join our live stream. We're going to talk to my buddy Paul Lowery for a few minutes, or for a little while actually. And then if you guys want, we're going to do some domain name appraising when we're done. And we can talk about a few other things. There's all sorts of stuff going on in the world. You guys are welcome to ask questions to me and Paul after we have our little chat and our little conversation. And let me just check Facebook, make sure that's working right. Yeah, we're here on Facebook. Looks like we have 8 viewers, so that's a good start. 10 viewers. We're picking up steam here. Cool. So again, you guys know me, Mike Mann. I'm the troublemaker at the moment, and I have my best buddy here, Paul Lowery.
Hi.
How you doing,
How
bud?
y'all doing? I'm doing well. Like it's good in Florida.
Awesome. So you're out in Wellington, and how's the weather out there today? Like about a half hour away from me.
Yes, it's about 12 miles West Palm Beach. So
Getting
we're
a little
inland,
bit
and
I'm getting a little bit of feedback though. I don't know if you can maybe turn down the volume of your speaker or something.
Okay. How about now?
I hear you. I think I'm going to talk for a few minutes. I think it might be something with your speaker, like feeding back through a loop into the microphone or something. So in any case, well, I'll talk and ask questions, and we'll see. We'll mess with the sound if we need to.
Okay.
So Paul and I both live in Palm Beach, but we live on opposite corners of Palm Beach. And Paul and I have known each other for a super long time. I'm going to actually tell the story in a couple minutes, or at least some stories. I posted on my wall that you know, Paul and I have lived in 3 different places near each other by accident. We both lived in Washington, D.C., where we met each other near there. And we both lived in Santa Cruz, California at different times, but we lived in California at the same time. And we both now live in Palm Beach. So we've kind of accidentally been following each other around the country. So it's pretty funny. And so Paul, do you remember the story of how we met, the actual very first time we met? Did I remind you over the years? Tell me what you remember.
Yes, you have, and I remember someplace where you go after you got in trouble. That was a long time ago. I think we were both early teens, and changed since that time, but we're still friends. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, I was 14. You were probably 15 if I was 14.
The Alfred D. Noise. Both of
do you want me to tell the story? Because it's actually kind of the more outrageous of the stories of how I met any of my guests. You good?
Go ahead.
Sorry, your sound's cutting in and out a little on me.
Let me cell phone.
Okay, well, I'll tell the story, and this is going to be online for the rest of our lives, so I'm sorry about that. But the story is actually when I was 14, my friends and I sort of stole a car and went to the beach with the car and proceeded to get arrested upon the return. And we ended up in juvenile court. And then Paul and his friends apparently burned down a construction house, and he ended up in juvenile court.
No, we actually,
what?
we blew it up.
Oh, you blew it up.
Blew up. It was like a Hollywood movie. It was so amazing.
I shouldn't laugh, but it was like 40 years ago. So.
And it was a model home in it.
Yeah, no people got hurt. But the point about the story of how we actually met is the weirdest story, though. The point is I literally met Paul, my best buddy here, about 40 years ago in the hallway at juvenile court. That's where we met. I remember, I don't know if you remember, is what happened is my crew, I had a crew from one school and he had a crew from another school, both in big trouble, of course. And my friend Todd Palmer knew them. So he said, oh, there's my buddies, blah, blah, blah. So that's actually literally the day I met Paul. And then, of course, I knew him ever since that time.
14?
Yeah, I was 14. That was like one of the first times I got arrested. Thank you very much. But I haven't been arrested since I was 18 for the record. So I'm doing a pretty good job. I've been working for charity every day since. So anyway, that's how we met. What else do you remember? Do you remember me from when we were kids at all?
Well, I remember we grew up in a really great place, almost a bedroom community, affluence and a lot of opportunity. Yeah, so I really loved I had great parents, great schools, great friends that I still have in contact to this day, 40, 50 years later. My best friends I've known since elementary school, so, and like you, I mean, junior high school. Yeah. So it's like kind of maintaining relationships is as easy as making a phone call.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, how you even if you're totally distant by, you're separate, it's so easy to make a phone call.
Yeah.
Just to check in. Hey, I love you, man. I'm thinking about you. That's what I do, and I've so far, 50, I'm 55 now. Just to hold on to probably 20 friends from elementary school.
Yeah, it's amazing. I know.
Contact.
I saw Mike Hodak at your house.
Yeah. Mike Hodak. There's
we had a lot of crazy friends, and I know some of the other dudes. Some of the dudes in Santa Cruz used to live in DC also.
There's Andy Rutledge, all those people.
Yeah.
So
then I still keep
Todd's still living with Todd yesterday. We're still living in the same. It was 102 degrees there on Saturday.
Good Lord. Yeah, I know. I saw on TV there was a heat wave out there. That's crazy. It was like the world record.
He was sitting in the water at Sunny Cove.
Say that again?
Wow. Family were sitting in beach chairs in the water at Sunny Cove.
Nice. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, it's usually really cold in the water in California. It has a Pacific current, so it's much warmer here in Florida.
Dude, I'd wear a 4mm wetsuit to surf. How cold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's brutally cold. Yeah, I used to live in California. When I was young, I was, it's actually hot and nice outside. So you're thinking, hey, it's time to, it's June. It's time to go into the ocean. And, but no, it's like really freezing cold there. So. But now there's a heat wave. For more than 2 minutes. Yeah, they were 100 thermometer. I was like, crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, we had a lot of good times. And then how many Grateful Dead shows have you seen?
At least 100.
Cool.
Probably more like now 90 or 100.
That's right.
Every time they were within 2 hours drive. When I moved to California, they played all over field for a while with Larry Sykes.
Yeah.
And Jerry was in the time.
Yeah.
And he was head of security at the Fillmore.
Oh, really?
We got free shows all the time.
That's
so
awesome.
we were playing. I would drive up from Santa Cruz 70 miles, go see the show. So I miss Jerry a lot. I miss his energy, the way he was about life. I miss that because moving on these days.
Yeah, I just watched a huge documentary about Jerry. Like a week ago, I saw a huge documentary about Jerry. It was awesome. It was like personal interviews with him, and like just the whole story, even though I've seen it before, but sort of a refresher and a lot of clips I hadn't seen before. It was super cool.
I can't believe it's been 25 years.
I saw the Cramps play in San Francisco. I see Michael Doonerson. I saw the Cramps play with the Butthole Surfers in San Francisco. I can look up the show. They're getting crazy. And the Pixies. They played with the Pixies, the Cramps. The Pixies was like the coolest thing ever. Like Frank Black in San Francisco. The Cramps are this crazy punk band, Corn-Fed Dames. If you ever remember that song, Corn-Fed Dames. That's the Cramps. Oh man, they were like the craziest ass live show ever.
How's your drumming going?
My drumming is going slowly, just because I've been so busy. But I've been enjoying playing around a tiny bit with. I've been collecting, some really nice pieces here and there. So just been playing some hand drums. We were in Delaware for the summer, so I have one collection of drums in Delaware and one collection of drums in Florida. So I haven't played much in Florida this summer, but I played a medium amount in Delaware. I have super cool Native American drum collection actually here and there, but the ones I have there are like these huge Navajo and Seminole drums. So I guess leads me into my next question for you is Paul's actually Native American for those who didn't read the blurb. And so like, what's the earliest memories you have about, like being at your tribe and like, where'd your dad, like what's your dad's background with regard to the tribe? I know a tiny bit, but the audience doesn't know anything.
Okay. Virginia, the name of my tribe is Chickahominy and the other tribe is Pamunkey. That's where I'm from. My father's mother is from Chickahominy. So I am a Chickamonkey anyway, those tribes were headed by Chief Powhatan, Pocahontas' dad. Pocahontas was
Elizabeth Warren's dad? Elizabeth Warren's dad?
No. She's Cherokee, But
yeah, 0%.
When asked. But anyway, Pocahontas was actually a Pamunkey, and that is the tribe where my grandfather's from.
Sweet.
So Chief Powhatan tribes in the Virginia area. There's like Chickahominy, Powhatan, and Pamunkey, and Upper Monaghan, Upper Rappahannock. So central area of Virginia between Charlottesville and Williamsburg is the James and the River. That is where my tribe is based from. I go up there every year for the powwow. Huge. It's like the biggest powwows in Virginia. Last year, there was 10,000 people, period, which is pretty huge I remember I turned around, there was a bus full of taking pictures. Like they bust in a bunch of Japanese tourists.
Oh, really?
So they could take pictures. I was like, it's like, it's 30 miles from Richmond or Charlottesville. So it's not like it's around the corner. So they bust in a giant Greyhound bus full of Japanese tourists. They're taking pictures, and everybody was totally welcome.
Of course.
It's great. So
I feel like
I go up there every year. Yeah. here, and we have a traditional powwow. There's dancers, jingle dresses, the veterans. My uncle is the assistant chief of the tribe, and my other uncle time.
I mean, I've met him before.
Yeah, you met
5 years ago, your 50th birthday.
50th birthday.
Isn't that when they
came? Yeah, Don came down here with his girlfriend. But I mean, I say girlfriend, the guy's.
There was like 5 of your relatives that came down one time when I met them, if you remember.
Yeah, they were out. Those were all the Ken and a few of my nephews that are, they just came for the ride. Ken was coming to visit. He's my cousin. This is where we drive the motorhome to his house, and every time we go up there. So he's got it's great because they all live. You can see them. There's grandma, there's mom, there's dad, there's, it's awesome. It's still alive in Virginia.
That's cool. So,
I think because without the family unit, things are lost.
So your dad was born, your dad and mom were both born in that, they were born in neighboring tribes in central Virginia.
My mom is from New York. That's where I'm part Chinese from my mom. Yeah, I'm Chinese. Her mom's name was Choi Ki.
Oh, really?
And my great grandfather was general in the Chinese army back then. But he was an ambassador who went to Trinidad and met my grandmother in Trinidad.
Really?
So my mom and her brother in Trinidad, in the United States. So that's where all my family still lives in Manhattan, Long Island, it's up there.
Yeah, I know.
But my parents moved. You met my cousin.
Yeah, I met your cousin.
New York, Darman. But my mom and dad moved down to
Wellington.
Say again?
The one cousin who has like horses in Wellington?
Yeah, Lake Worth is in Wellington.
Your cousin who doesn't she have a horse in Wellington?
Oh, yeah. She lives down the road from us. That's my cousin, Jalan.
Right.
She heard back to the United States years ago. And he owned Gulf Coast or something like that. So she's back with her new son. Well, she's had a baby, 8-9 months old by now. She moved back to Delray, I think.
Cool.
So yeah, we have dinner once a week.
So just her and the little guy?
Yeah. But I'd like to talk to them really good at is diagnosing people's vehicle problems. Bothers me when people go to a dealership and they just get totally screwed. They don't know. I have been in the auto industry since I was 12. I've owned a shop for 10 years. I had several employees. So my knowledge of automobiles is incredible. If any of your followers, people that are watching you car in, have them shoot me an email with what their problem is, and I'll tell them what to expect. They don't get totally screwed at the auto repair place. Because a lot of these shops that are like Midas, Pep Boys, places like that, they have employee reports, which means that each employee has to justify his job on paid boss. So that means that they are upselling the customer unnecessarily. That's what, and you need a set of brakes. All of a sudden, it's a $2,000 estimate.
I know.
And for what you knew, a guy in California, he had 22 Midases. All right, Midas shops. There was a lot of reports to the BAR, which is the Bureau of Automotive Repair, which were from the state in order to be a shop. They were getting a lot of reports sorts of lies, rip-offs, that kind of stuff. So what they did, the BAR did, what they put was perfect. They had a little old lady in it who drove it into a Midas, this guy's Midases, and collected the estimate, put him out of business, took all 20, took away his bar number. Without that bar number, you're not in business. And you back that thing. So he had people, this woman was going into it, coming out with $1,800 estimates, $2,200, $2,500, $3,000, and there was nothing wrong with the car. A bunch of the BAR mechanics certified out, and all of a sudden it needs all this stuff.
That's so crazy.
That's what. If you guys have something wrong with your cars, and you're concerned about being ripped off, shoot me an email. I'll tell you if we're on the right track, because I can tell by vibrations what the car is doing. I can narrow down where the problem is pretty much. Called me the other night. He had a radiator leaking problem. It turned out he was on the side of the Jersey talking to me on his cell phone. I said, go out and pop the hood. Where do you see the water leaking from? That's your water pump. He goes into the shop. Yeah, it's the water pump. Don't expect $600 for it.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll probably try to be closer to $900. But reality, so they first came back with a $900 estimate. He was like, no, dude, get a number. How much it costs at the auto parts store, how much radiator fluid is going to cost to fill it due to the labor rate industry standard guide of how much they can legally charge you for labor. $100. And he was on the side of the road and had to have the car towed in for trying to screw him. Like, it was going to be like $1,100, saving $500.
Yeah, it's like every time somebody scratches me at my kid's school parking lot or at the Walmart parking lot, it's like $500 fix at the paint company. It's actually my friend Courtney, who I think might be watching our stream. Her family owns the shop, but I haven't been there recently.
Cool. Is it a paint shop?
It's like a paint repair shop. It's like called I think West Del Rey.
Well, I need to talk. I need to talk to her because I've got a 7240 mint, and I need to have the windshield thing dealt with. So yeah, I'd like to talk to her. I need to find someone that's qualified.
Body shop. Well, I'm posting her thing right here. Courtney's family owns body shop. So why don't you? Your sound is kind of crappy, so we're gonna talk for a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna do some domain name stuff. And for next time, we're gonna work on your microphone because it's annoying. But you're doing a great job. But we should have practiced the audio. Mine isn't very good either. But between the two of us, it's like
you're going in and out, dropping in and out. But
I don't know what it is.
That could be me.
Maybe it's the app itself and not either of us. I really don't know. I'm gonna keep making this thing better every week because I still barely know what I'm doing and I don't have anybody helping me, so it's impromptu, but I think we're doing relatively well.
Let me get your email address so you can give it to people if they want to contact me about their car.
Yeah. You can type whatever you want right on my wall, bro. You just type it, or I can do it. I mean, I can put whatever you want, but regardless of, even though that sounds bad, I still want you to try to tell me a little bit about how you and Michelle travel, what it's like, where you guys have gone, where your favorite place is, because Paul and Michelle have traveled around the country at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, we bought a 36-foot motorhome, Class A, and we tow a minivan because I got into a wheelchair due to I used to be an open ocean sailing racer, and during a huge storm, I took out my C3 disc, so now I ride a wheelchair. I don't sail anymore. Storm, man, it went from 2-foot seas, 10 knots of breeze, to 36-foot seas, knots of breeze, like that. and we were 2,000 miles from California. So I bought this motorhome, and we've traveled the country in it. It's awesome. We've been. I picked it up in California. I had it as my. I sent my technician out to pick it up in Sacramento. He drove it back and then for the next 8 weeks they were pimping my ride. You know that show. So they were coming doing all of them to make it awesome. And we took off from there, and it took us 6 months to get. We just zigzagged. Hold on my camera. We just zigzagged across country to maybe we went to Utah, Grand Canyon, Badlands, Iowa, down to all over the place. We ended a family's powwow in Virginia. That was the end game, was to make it back to Virginia for the powwow. And a month there, hung out for the powwow, which is actually only 2 days. So there I got to do family stuff, which is great. And then we came back to Florida, and and then we split again out of Florida the next year, and we did another trip. We just basically zigzagged the country wherever we wanted to go. Pick up, boom, we want to go there, and we drive there. And the best thing was that places to park, like Campgrounds of America, and you can even park at a Walmart overnight. Safe. The super centers, they've got full cameras, they got security, and we would park, fire up the generator, eat, wake up at 7 or 8 in the morning and hit the road. Boom. Gone. No hassles, no problems. Probably stopped in Walmarts a lot, because if we were just in transit, because you just park, sleep, and go. But with like a KOA, we would, if we were going to spend, we would go pull into a KOA, and they've got electricity, water, sewer, and it's like $30 a night.
Yeah, I know.
Can't beat it. You know, all these people were giving out. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you're at Walmart, they want you to be there because you're there late at night when they have no customers mostly, and then you're their customer. You come buy supplies for your trip from Walmart, you know.
First thing in the morning, you're going in there to buy some stuff.
You need some dog food in your case for my buddy Milo.
Toothpaste, whatever, you know. They know you're going, and they don't care. I think it's great that, you know, that was very available to us. They're everywhere. And I pull up an app on my phone.
So, like, if you have to, where is your favorite place if you're just going to pick one spot?
I would have to say Utah, Monument Valley.
Yeah, it's so nice there.
Unbelievable. Just beautiful. People we met, it was really nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, I have a company in Utah, SEO.com. I don't know if you remember that. In any case, I have a company in Utah. Yeah, I haven't been there recently, but I used to go visit once in a while. I love Utah. It's so pretty there.
Oh, where in Utah?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Yeah, in Salt Lake City, which is one of the cleanest cities in the country. No rioting, as far as I know. The Mormons aren't the best rioters.
Beautiful. Yeah, they're not busting them in. It's beautiful there.
Yeah, it's so nice. And then I think it's called Park City is the ski slope near there, which of course I can't ski, but I've driven it. Yeah, I've driven around up there. It's like the prettiest neighborhood ever. It's so nice up there. Utah's an awesome place.
I just love the fact that the air is so clean.
Yeah, exactly. It's a beautiful, clean city. It's really nice there. I would live there if they had a beach, but the Salt Lake beach isn't exactly my idea of a beach. So, like, if it had an ocean there, if they like cut off a third of the country and left me a nice ocean, it's a cool place though. So what else was I going to ask you about? Just, is there any particular, like, while you're stuck home at COVID, is there any particular, like, music, movies, food, or anything in particular you've been getting into that you want to tell?
Well, Michelle, when we cooked these s'mores the other day.
Yeah, bring Michelle in here.
The typical, but these are like wrapped in like an egg roll kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like crack. It's s'more crack. I don't know what it is.
Can we bring your beautiful bride in for a minute? She can tell us about her time at COVID, and then we'll let you guys go or listen. We're going to talk about domains in a couple minutes. Let's bring Michelle on for a second.
Okay.
She didn't get her cameo visit yet.
Hey, sweetheart, he wants to say hi.
She's all dressed up. We need a pretty face here between the two of us.
This is my beautiful wife, Michelle.
And my wonderful friend. So Michelle, how's COVID treating you? You look well, even though I can barely see you. There you are.
Yeah.
You're doing pretty well during your COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul's been getting in the pool, so that's been nice. Some aqua therapy for him.
Sweet.
Other than that, just trying to keep busy.
And your nursery school doesn't do online stuff? Your nursery school from the temple doesn't do online?
Well, listen, enrollment, people are either homeschooling or waiting to see what happens. If you're under 6, it's really hard for the little ones to be virtual because parents have to work. And
I've been practicing,
you can't keep their attention, much less, half-hour Zoom meeting. So, we were doing that from March, and and then right now they're going to open up come September 8th, and it's going to be small pods. I'm kind of on call. I'm waiting. I can't bring any more germs home to my wonderful husband than he already gets.
No germs.
Yeah, no cooties. No more cooties in the house.
No.
Well, you guys both look like you're doing pretty well under the conditions. We pulled Victor out of school, and then Victor's school, his temple had sent a message saying how incredibly strict everything was. And so then I pulled him out of the school, and then, but then they loosened the restrictions again. So now he's back in the school. So now he starts school on Monday, the temple school. There's still a lot of restrictions.
Don't know how.
What, bro?
Yeah, it's going to be really challenging. I think for the little one masks, they're going to be really sad at separation. It's, the educators, I'm used to being the nurturing one, right? They cry and I'm there with them. And I wasn't sure. I didn't want to be that stressed out person.
Yeah, I hear that.
And already very stressful. So,
that's awesome.
That's, it's decisions for themselves. And I feel really bad about educators having to make those decisions right now. It's not only the kids, it's also,
the parents.
Those of us, or, you coming home, your spouse sick or your extended family. So it just wasn't worth it for me. Plus, we don't much, and I'm not getting hazard pay. I already don't have insurance through this.
I don't think you should go. I was just curious what's up. I don't want. Yeah, I mean, it's
not worth it.
I don't want. No, I totally agree with you. I mean, I'm not going in there. They won't even let the parents in the school. You have to drop him off, get his temperature taken. Yeah, so
parents
I don't blame. Yeah, so I don't have to worry about me getting infected. And in any case,
you do.
No. Yeah, no, I hear you.
And we all have our issues, especially,
it's
just too much of a gamble.
Yeah,
I'm not a gambling guy.
Yeah, I've been super
Like
safe.
the little money I have.
Not reckless.
I know.
Well, I'm going to
So-
gamble that it's going to go away soon, but until then, I'm going to be super safe. You know, I'm hoping that hopefully in a month or two, we're going to hear that there's no new cases, but we have to wait and see. We can't be certain until we get there.
Gotta wait.
Well, that's why we haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see your face right now. I haven't seen it
I know.
in
Well,
a month.
We haven't had
I've
no
been
one's
in,
been in this house.
Yeah.
I've been out of town anyway, so it doesn't matter. I've been in Delaware the whole time, but
Well, you were in Delaware, but even before you left, I mean,
yeah.
we were
Oh, no, I
seeing
know.
each other every other week or so, and then it's
Oh,
nice
I know, it's
to
crazy.
see you and letting us see Svetlana
Yeah,
and
Victor.
Victor this morning. That was
Yeah,
nice.
you guys too. Well, you know, again, I'm assuming that we're not going to be in isolation until the end of time. So hopefully we'll see you soon. We'll have to
Hopefully
go
not.
I hope.
back to crazy Uncle
I don't know how
Mike's.
much
And
more this- I
see
don't
some,
take, man.
eventually we'll see some DeadHead music and some vegetarian food for me.
Woo, some
Cool, guys. Okay, well,
I
you're
know.
welcome to stay on if you want or drop off. I'm going to do like my domain appraising stuff. But thank you so much for joining, and come back again soon and keep us abreast. Thanks, buddy.
I think I'm gonna drop off because we got to go to the store.
Okay, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Mike. I'll put on my email if any of your friends need a biased, no BS opinion about their car.
Definitely. Yeah,
I will
just put
tell
your email on the
them.
wall there. And they can add you to Facebook
Okay, cool.
also, for that matter.
I'm so tired of people being ripped off.
Oh, I know. Cool, buddy. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you
It's
soon.
wrong. I'm the guy that can tell you what's happening with your car.
You're the
Before you-
consumer reporter. The consumer's
Well,
best
just so you
friend.
know what to expect. Just so you know, guy. I was the
I know a
guy.
guy.
And I was like, I got tired of being ripped it all myself. So I can't be ripped off.
Hear that.
So
Cool, buddy. Well, I appreciate that advice.
I will put my email up there, info about fixing their car. I'll help them out.
Cool, buddy. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you.
Take care, bro.
Goodbye.
All right. Thanks, Michelle. Okay. I think I'm still here. So that was my best buddy, Paul Lowery, who's an awesome dude. I didn't get into all the stories. I actually wanted to get into more, but his microphone sounded a little messed up. So I didn't want to frustrate anybody. I can see, yeah, there's definitely a problem with his audio, but I don't even barely know how to do my own, so I don't know how to fix his. So hopefully you guys can still see me here. And if anybody wants to do some domain name appraising with me, you can ask me some questions like, do you have domains you want appraised? You can, okay, I have one right here, except for I don't usually do .org, but this is so weird. But okay, so I have from Stephen Oroz, lunches.org. You guys put some good .coms on there. I have a list of my own that I can do if you don't have some good ones on there. Here I have one from Devinder, Paul. Okay, so I'm going to do one at a time here, and I need to share my screen. So I'm going to figure all that out. I'm going to share my screen and do some domain name appraising, hopefully, if I can figure out what I'm doing. Let's see, share screen, okay. Chrome tab. Okay, so here we are. Hopefully I'm sharing my screen. And what was that? What are these names again? Whoa, you guys jammed them out here. Okay, first we have lunches.org. I don't usually appraise .org because it's too hard to come up with a good price. But in any event, if you see my screen here, everything goes in quotes. And, you know, we kind of know what lunches means, and you could almost just pick a price and guess, because it's a standard word, but this is a plural. It's a .org. .org is really for charities. Conceptually, you could free lunch, lunches.org. Maybe it could be done for a soup kitchen or something. Soup kitchen has no money though. And most orgs have no money, which is one reason why, .orgs aren't always great. But I personally have the world's best .org collection. Those are the ones that have value, only the very best ones. The rest of the .orgs have no commercial resale value. But lunches.org is worth something. I just don't know what. And Google didn't give me any results for some reason. So I don't know if I'm having a bad internet day or what's going on here. Lunches isn't pulling anything up at all for me. Is something wrong with my Google? You guys can see my screen, so I'm not crazy here. Yeah, you see my Google screen isn't working. That's not fair. So there it is. I don't know why it took so long. So anyway, lunches.org. Again, it's just, I don't want to spend too much time on this because there's just not a good answer. Lunches.org is worth a couple $1,000, so who the heck knows? Lunches.org 2K. Okay, I'm going to do the next one. If you can see on my Facebook, I just put lunches.org 2K. Then I'm going to go back to my StreamYard. I don't know why I post in StreamYard. Some things show up on StreamYard chat and some show up in Facebook, so I can't figure out why. So I keep switching back and forth. Okay, Devinder Paul has forexbusiness.com. So we're going to go back into Google. And we're going to put Forex business in quotes and see what's going on here. Forex is a huge idea. Foreign exchange, billions of dollars trading per day. It's important not to forget the domain you're working on, though, while you're in the middle of it. Forexbusiness.com. Okay, so here we are, Forex business. So it's sort of a vague term. It means something, but it's a business that's in the foreign exchange trade. So these are foreign exchange business. So good news is Google actually has a blurb on it, which implies it's a clean expression. But it's not the most popular expression, and it's not a proper name. Like there's no actual company we can see here named Forex Business. It's not like McDonald's, and but it's an expression. It means something. Forex is a huge thing, but it's just kind of a really bland, non-specific expression. We can't see any companies that need that terribly. So we're doing three things here. First, we're disambiguating the word, putting it in quotes, breaking it up, figuring out what it means. So we've done that. We know what it means. Then we're looking at the breadth. How many businesses require this name? And how many would like it isn't that important because nobody's going to give you thousands of dollars just for the heck of it. They'll go get a domain registration that's similar to this for $10. The question is, do they actually need this? Not do they sort of want it? Do they actually have to have it and need it? And the answer is no, it has no breadth. And if you were to pick one person that needed it, you'd say, how much depth does it have? It has no breadth and it has no depth. It has been disambiguated and it is worth something, which is another $2,000. Basically, it's just a token. It's an okay name that doesn't have a lot of use. So it has a token value, another 2K. Forexbusiness.com 2K. We're going to do the next one in case anybody has any issues so far, or has any questions that I might have missed. I'm going to look at my little question here. Let's see, we did Forex business. We have human taxonomy. Well, that's interesting. I have no idea what that means or what that's worth. So we're going to find out. I mean, I sort of know what it means, but I didn't know you could taxonomize humans. Human taxonomy, 18,000. 18,000 is a low medium result for a two-word expression. If it was over 100,000, it would be a good number of results. If it was under 3,000 or 4,000, it would be a bad number of results. So this is on the low, decent numbers. So this is a real expression. Google has a blurb on it. pretty easy to say and spell, but it's not clear necessarily what it means unless you're some kind of scientist. It's the classification of human species within the zoological taxonomy. That's how you treat humans like zoo animals and study them, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of confusing, but it is kind of cool. And it does make sense. And presumably there are scientists that need this name. It's a specific name. So again, first we're going to do the disambiguation. We sort of disambiguated it. We basically know what it means. The genus Homo is placed in the tribe Hominini alongside pan chimpanzees. Oh, that's really freaking exciting. Let me tell you about that. So that's human taxonomy. So human taxonomy is a cool expression. We're just trying to figure out the price of it, the value of it. It's really weird, actually. And this is actually the good part of the job, is when you get an interesting expression and you can actually potentially learn something instead of just studying weird random words. So human taxonomy, we still need to appraise it and come up with a good price. So given that a picture is worth 1,000 words, so anyway, we've disambiguated it. We need to find out the breadth, how many companies need this thing, and the depth of any one given company, how badly they need it. So again, disambiguation, depth and breadth. And here we are, human taxonomy. It actually looks like a cool expression, but it's not the name of a company. So it's just a scientific idea. And it's not the most popular scientific idea I've ever seen in my life. So although it's cool and it's a very cool niche idea, it is probably worth $10,000, which means you should probably sell it for a $5,000 offer. Okay, that's human taxonomy. Worth 10K, take 5K offer. I wouldn't. I don't take that low of an offer, but you might want the money. So bestvisualeffects.com. That thing is long. And it doesn't sound like the name of a company. It's just some random words, sort of. But we're going to look it up nonetheless, as long as I memorize it. I'm lost here. Best visual effects. Okay, we'll do best visual effects. Best visual effects. First of all, you can see this pull down. And so that's actually pretty cool. It looks like it's they have nominations in the Grammy Awards for best visual effects. So that's something I had no idea. I don't have any idea of anything. I'm not presuming anything. I look everything up. I'm guessing stuff with you guys out loud, but during the appraisal, the guessing is pointless. I just get through till the end, and the end point's the only thing that matters, the actual price we come up with. But here I'm just trying to break down the process with you guys, figure out how to do appraisals. So we see best visual effects. It has software, it has movies, nominees. Pretty cool. Not that cool though. Academy Award. Well, Academy Award, so could be the name of a movie. It's sort of a company. It's a double entendre. Best visual effects. You're making a double entendre related to the Oscars, and at the same time saying your corporation builds the best visual effects of whatever they do. But it's still long and abstract, and it's hard to sell a great perfect domain. So therefore, this one would be very hard because it's not perfect. But again, we're doing three things here. We're disambiguating it. We've already done that. We know what it means. It means sort of two things. It means literally what it says, and that it also is an Academy Award. So it means two things. It's been disambiguated. The breadth and the depth. The breadth is not that many people have to have it. A couple people might like it. And the people that might like it might have a medium amount of depth to it because it's pretty cool. But having said all that, it's worth $3,000. And we are done with it. Best visual effects. 3K. Thank you very much. And so now we're going to the next one, unless somebody needs to stop me for any reason. Let's see here. Human taxonomy, we already did that. Leaf wallet, okay. I have no idea what that means. Krista is my guest next week, one of my guests. I'm probably gonna have two guests every week for now on because I overbooked like crazy on purpose. I could open up 2 different days, but I don't know if I'm up for that. So most likely I'm just gonna put 2 people every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. So Leaf Wallet, no idea what that's about. Some kind of Bitcoin scam. Here we go. Well, what did I tell you? Bitcoin scam. It's a new cryptocurrency based on Ethereum blockchain. Will be distributed. I'll bet anything that it's not going to be distributed. But it does have a brand name. And maybe somebody got into it. Let's see the date on these things. No date. Let's see if there's a date at the bottom of the screen. 2020. Well, that's a good sign. Leaf Wallet, easy to use. Data security. I mean, there's a company with the name. That's the good news. I mean, you know, what kind of company is this? It's a startup that's probably full of crap. Doesn't look like a very serious company. I could dig deeper, but that would take a lot of time. So Leaf Wallet is this guy. Leaf Wallet. So it has several meanings. The main meaning is it's this cryptocurrency that, again, most likely is just some scam or something stupid. Maybe not. I don't want to disrespect the people, but 99% of anything related to crypto is just BS. And then there's the 1% of people who actually write software that you can use. So Leaf Wallet is a type of a wallet, a type of an actual wallet. Apparently they all have weed leaves on them if you actually look. Leaf Wallet. Like, people really need wallets with a weed leaf on it. So it is not very valuable. We seem to be getting trapped in the same area of $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I mean, this one's the same thing, Leaf Wallet, you know, it's like $2,000 because, and as far as the disambiguation goes, we know what it means. It's an actual wallet and it's a little cryptocurrency.io. We've disambiguated it. The breadth is 0. Well, the breadth is maybe somebody who sells wallets, unlikely, but the breadth of one person, leafwallet.io, they could also potentially make a trademark claim if they had a trademark. But the depth is very deep, actually, to one person. The one top buyer has an extreme depth, but with that depth, again, you have a trademark issue and you have no breadth. They're the only buyer, so if they don't buy it, nobody will want it. I don't think anybody's gonna buy it to sell wallets. I mean, for one thing, you could buy Leaf Wallets, plural, or 1,000 other terms that you wouldn't have to pay very much money for. So in any case, answer is Leaf Wallet, $2,000. Everything's $2,000 today. We need some better domains. Okay, guys, thank you very much so far. Let's keep on rolling through here. What are my thoughts on UGrow? I think I look it up. UGrow, carbon neutrality. Well, carbon neutrality is good. Actually, both of those are probably good. Okay, let's check out UGrow. UGrow, bro. Oh, there you have it. I mean, we have a Twitter account here. Okay, so we're disambiguating, doing depth and breadth. So first of all, you know, UGrow is just a cute expression. Could mean food, could mean business, could mean anything. The depth is, the breadth. How many different people trade in that expression? I would have never even thought of it, but an image is worth 1,000 words. So you have 1,000 words here telling you that these people like this name. But again, if you look at who it is, it's like the police youth department, so they have no money. But there's a bunch of things. UGrow systems that we could look up and see how popular they are. UGrow Medium, you know, there's these Facebook accounts. There's UGrow Media here, UGrow Gathering on Facebook, UGrow Media, UGrow Call Me. I mean, there's a lot of UGrow. So the breadth is very broad, and the depth issue is the top buyer, how badly do they need this name? And this is the top people, most likely, based on Google search. Ugrow Media, they have a trademark, conceptually sue you, but I doubt it. First of all, TM means it's a pending trademark, which they could be lying about anyway, but if they put an R there, that means a registered trademark that they could potentially take issue to, but every trademark has its own category. So, it would have to cover the category of domain names, because we just sell domain names. We don't have a product on top of it. So they can't say we're interfering they can't say we're confusing potential buyers about what our product is, that we're trying to pretend we have their product, because obviously we just sell domains and we don't have their product. So in any case, this is a great name is the correct answer. It's 6 letters. The negative side is it'll get confused with Ugrow with a W, which is also a match. So when we're trying to figure out the depth and the breadth, we can look at this one also to figure out who the potential buyers are. And it's a long shot, but we're just trying to add them all up. And Ugrow with a W at the end is very, very valuable. And the one without the W is worth less, but it's worth something. We're just looking at every possibility here. Like you can see, again, the breadth on this is extreme. So Ugrow is an awesome name. And I'm still thinking about it a little bit. Ugrow.com is worth, let's think for a second. It's extremely short, extremely pertinent, has breadth and depth. It has Soundex matches. Ugrow with a W. It's worth $25,000. Very nice. Next one is carbon neutrality. That's a big expression for the hippie liberals. Nothing against hippies. So where did I go here? Carbone. So you can see here on the pull down, first of all, you can see infographic goals, icon, logo, meaning. So this is another case where it's not the actual name of any existing companies, most likely. It's an idea. It's a big idea in science, in ecology, carbon neutrality. It's a little bit long. It's a little bit awkward to spell. There's potential mix-ups with carbon neutral instead of carbon neutrality. So we're going to dig in a little deeper and see what else is up here. So there's a ton of these infographics here about carbon neutrality. They all have the word carbon neutral or carbon neutrality. Carbon neutral is not an exact match. It's spelled differently. Carbon neutrality is Total Carbon Neutrality Ventures. So again, these guys would be $400 million global venture fund. This is just one person. So again, they would be very smart to buy carbon neutrality. They probably won't do it, but there might be 10 companies that are as cool as this company. Added all 10 up, one of them might buy it. So we're doing disambiguation. We know exactly what this means. It's this, ecological concept where, you don't have extra greenhouse gases going out. You've captured so much greenhouse gases and carbon dioxide, whatever, that you're now carbon neutral. I actually think that word is dated. I mean, it's from 10 years ago. People still use it, but I don't think Trump's ever going to say it, and he's in office. So it's an awesome expression. It's long, it's awkward, but it might come back to life, and it might be a big idea, even bigger than it is now. It might be on TV, that exact expression. You might see politicians and newspaper people talking about that. They already are, but it might keep increasing and increasing. So we've disambiguated it. We know what it means. The breadth is pretty broad. There's a lot of companies that could get into this, a lot of charities that could get into this, governments. And the depth isn't terribly deep because there's not a lot of buyers, and it's sort of an abstract, long expression, a tiny bit hard to spell. So what is it worth? And since it's a big idea in science, it's maybe not that easy to sell, and it doesn't have perfect branding for a business, but it is a really big area of science. So I would list it at 30,000 is the answer. Also, there's 2 N's in a row, which is actually bad. I just figured out when I was typing it. 2 of any letter in a row is bad. Neutrality is worth 30,000. Cool. Let me see what's next. Hopefully you guys are hanging in there with me and following what's going on here. I got some more things here. You did that one. Askari Airline. No idea what that is. I'm gonna have to skip that one because it's worth 0. If it's the name of somebody's airline, they would probably sue for it. So, okay, I have Invest Accurate. Well, you guys are cranking them out here. Elias, you're welcome. You have the best names of the day. Whoever gives me the best names of the day wins. It's more fun looking up more expensive names. So I'm getting confused here. Where am I? Vegetarian.com. Michael, you don't own vegetarian.com, but it's a cool million. Okay, so I'm doing Invest Accurate for Piyush here. So back here, in quotes, Invest Accurate. Right off the bat, it's bad grammar. It should be Invest Accurately. There's no exact matches. So again, we know what it means theoretically as far as disambiguating it. The breadth is one company here, Lakan Patel's company, Invest Accurate Financial Solutions. And these are people are very unsophisticated because again, if you look here, if this is your breadth or your depth, well, first of all, there's no breadth, it's just one person. And what's the depth of this one person? They're not very deep because they can't spell financial properly. And they have nothing going on. They have one whatever. It's just, it's unimpressive. You can see that this domain has been listed for a long time. There's no company listed here. It says this domain is listed for rent. So again, that depresses the value. By having a domain listing, it means this name's just sitting around. It's used goods that people aren't that excited about it, or else it wouldn't. If it was an exciting name, like you would never see Facebook.com. This domain, Facebook.com, is available for rent. It's available for rent. That implies nobody wants it. So again, we've disambiguated it. The depth is of 1. The breadth is of 1 and the depth is of very shallow. So again, we're doing Invest Accurate. .com is worth $200. So, these are all just personal opinions and guesses. I don't have a lot of the data. I don't know about the traffic to these domain names. I don't know about previous offers. I don't know what people paid for them. So there's a lot to consider there. So I'm going to look at the next one on the list here. Domesticrepair.com I have on here somewhere. Here I am. Domestic repair. Again, we can see this pull down. There's domestic repairs plural that's listed several places, but not repair singular. I mean, presumably what it means is something like handyman services. So we're going to disambiguate it and see what it means. Then we're going to look at the breadth, how many companies might want it, and the depth, how badly one company might need it. So domestic repair center, there's domestic repair near me. You know, not so clear what it means yet, but we're going to try to figure that out. So I think they're talking about domestic car repair, not handyman services. So it's like brakes and things. So that makes sense. Domestic car repair. So again, disambiguating it, we know what it means. It means domestic car repair, domestic repair. Problem with that is there's a lot of other ways of saying it. So we have disambiguated it, but it's not like a super sharp expression. It does mean something, but how often do people ever say that to you? I'm going to get a domestic repair. I'm going to get my car fixed. So like carfix.com would be very valuable, for example. Fixmycar.com. Domestic repair, it means something. And there are companies that trade with this expression, whether it's their description or the actual company name, we can't tell yet, but we can tell it's uppercase, so it's a proper noun essentially. So it has a lot of activity in Google, and we'll look at the images. Mario's domestic auto repair. So again, it's not an exact match at all. There's two extra words and one in between the keywords, domestic repair. It has auto in the middle. So that's my point, is if there's a lot of alternatives for the domain's less valuable. It's only perfect ones that are not easy to replace or easy to find alternatives. We have domestic repairs, plural here. So again, disambiguate it. We know what it means. The breadth is that there's actually a lot of companies that provide this service. There's a ton of companies. So it means something. It has a very wide breadth, but it doesn't have any depth because nobody really needs it that badly. A lot of breadth, no depth. Still really cool. Again, car services are like extraordinarily profitable, or the amount of revenue that car repair places bring in is tremendous for the economy. So that's a good sign. So having said all that, I would charge $10,000 for it. And, you know, if you have to take a discount on it, I would take a little discount, but it's probably worth every cent of $10,000. So I'm going to type that in and we'll be done with that one. As soon as I can figure out what I'm doing. There it is. Coolio. I'm going to check back on the notes here and see what you guys have. You have charcoal illustration from Syed. I'll check out charcoal illustration. I actually know what that means, so it's easy to disambiguate. It's actually extremely clear what it means, so that's the good part about it so far. Next thing is to figure out the breadth, how many companies, or in this case, artists trade in that. How many artists trade in charcoal illustration? You can see there's charcoal illustrations, children's books, artists, techniques, charcoal fashion illustration. We're going to dig a little deeper. It says 92 results, but that's actually not right. So if you go down to the bottom, you'll see this little tiny thing that they're hiding from you. It says you can repeat the search with omitted results included. So this will actually tell you the right number of results, 52,000. So again, page 1 says there's 92 results. And then if you click that other link that I should see, look, this is page 1 of the results, 92 results. That is incorrect. And you need to know that, because if you thought it was correct, then you would think this domain didn't have any value. In fact, this domain has 52,000 results. And it's got to be in quotes, and you got to get it past the first page of BS, which they seem to give you half the time. So charcoal illustration, 52,000 hits in Google. We all know what it means. There are alternatives, charcoal drawing, charcoal drawings, etc. pencil drawings. So we know what this means for sure. The breadth is pretty good, actually. There's a lot of people that seem to be trading in charcoal illustration. But again, it's singular. It might sound better if it was charcoal illustrations, plural. It does have a lot of matches in Google. So the issue is, what should I charge for it? Well, what should I appraise it for? Charcoal illustration is worth 10,000 bucks. Is your answer. You're welcome. Now, keep in mind, the way I'm doing my appraisals right now is not the same way I always do it. I'm using a back-end system full of tools and data and information, but it's proprietary, so I can't even show it to you. And even if I could, you wouldn't have access to it to do it on your own, so it wouldn't help you learn how to appraise domains. And it's really complex to use, so it really just wouldn't help you any. So I'm not doing it the exact same way I normally do it, so I'm not getting quite as clear and accurate of a result. But I think these are fair results, keeping in mind this is an abstract art. There's no exact factual price for a domain name. It's just a matter of somebody's opinion. And since I've bought and sold more domains than probably anybody on earth, my opinion holds a lot of weight. So I'm giving you my opinion here. It's subjective based on my own understanding of the words and based on what I see in Google. And it's not a scientifically perfect appraisal. So keep that in mind, of course, when you're out battling people about your domain appraisal. So the next one on our list is going to be Got to find out where the rest of the questions are. Footwear stock. That's no good. I'm going to go for 0 on that one before I bother with it. Let me just see if there's some better ones, because there's so much stuff going on here. Okay, so there's Michael Donor has alcoholoffers.com, so I'm going to check that out real quick. I don't think anybody makes offers on alcohol, though. It's not like something that goes on auction. But they might mean alcohol bargains or alcohol, special offers, discounts. Yeah, I guess offers would be special offers. Yeah, so again, disambiguating it, it means a special offer for mere drinking alcohol. It's not talking about rubbing alcohol for your skin. And I'm just trying to see if people make a lot of special offers on alcohol like they do for ordinary food products. So advertising it. But none of it. So again, what it means, it means a special offer if you're buying alcohol, but it's not worded exactly perfectly. So I think that alcohol offers, based on what I see here, is worth about 4,000 bucks. So there you have it. Alcohol offers 4,000 bucks. We're going to do a few more of these and then do some more next week. And you guys can ask some other questions other than domain names. But alcohol offers is okay. It just doesn't have a lot of depth. It has a lot of breadth where there's a lot of companies that sell alcohol. They could offer it, but the word itself isn't super powerful. There's other ways of saying it. So, but I think $4,000 is, if you own Budweiser, could be a good investment for you. You could put your ads on there. Oh, I put it at the wrong place. Sorry. Alcohol offers 4,000. Now you guys can see what I do all day for a living. It's exactly this. All day, all night, every day. Not always that fun, but it pays the bills. Okay, alcoholoffers.com, $4,000, very nice. I'm gonna do a couple more of these and then let you guys go so I can have a lot of tea. Okay, getting a little lost here. Okay, Shahor wants to know if I would buy human taxonomy for 5,000. I mean, if that's what it's worth, but you know, there's millions and millions of domains that I could put an appraisal on and tell you what they're worth. That doesn't mean I'm going to buy millions of domains at retail value. I personally buy it for pennies on the dollar. I get the lowest prices of anybody. I buy in bulk and I have the best data and the best partnerships. So you wouldn't want to sell it to me. You want to sell things to the general public. Again, we talk about the breadth. That's how many potential buyers there are. But you know, I'm not a potential buyer for any of these. I would buy them all for $10 and hold them for 10 years. But you know, I would never pay retail for anything. So, you know, I'm jumping around here. I'm going to try student loan debt and vanity soup and execution phase, and then I'm going to be done. So I have 3 more and then I'm done. So don't post anymore. I have enough here. So Lisa, thank you for joining us. I'm going to look up vanitysoup.com. I'm not sure what that means, but I can tell you that I own thesoup.com, which is kind of cool. See, I can tell you what that's worth. It's worth $194,000. There's a reason for that, but I don't know if you guys can actually see that screen. Actually, I have to go back. Oh yeah, you can see the screen. Okay, I'm sorry. So again, I'm going to do vanitysoup.com in quotations. So again, this is another case where that 72 results is probably bad. Most likely when I scroll to the bottom, it's going to say, if you want more results, click here. Repeat the search with the omitted results included. So it's admitting to omitting results. So Vanity Soup in 7,000 approximately results. That's not a lot. First, we need to figure out what it means. And then we're trying to figure out the breadth and the depth. So what does it mean? It is a Versace thing by Rosenthal Vanity Soup terrain. Well, that's a very, very abstract and rare, which isn't a good sign because people don't pay for abstract, rare expressions on the internet. So as far as what it means, you know, it's the name of this bowl, Vanity Soup tureen. So it's sort of cool. And I think the bigger point is it says Versace. So if it's actually Versace brand, and that's really cool. And you can actually see what the cost of these things are. They're $100 each approximately. So again, Vanity Soup, we know what it means. It's this fancy soup bowl. And again, it's not really spelled out all the way. It doesn't say Vanity Soup Bowl or Versace Vanity Soup or whatever, which would be a trademark violation. So the breadth is that most people have never heard of a Vanity Soup Bowl. The depth is that there's one buyer with Versace. So the question is, Versace's really rich, but the name isn't cool enough. So it actually has some depth because the one potential buyer is so rich. So the correct answer is $1,000. I mean, it sounds cute. That's what it has going for it. And you can make a case that it means something, but it's just too abstract, not enough buyers. So we have student loan debt. So I'll double check that one. Student loan debt. So we're going to go into, can you see me here? Okay. Student loan debt. Now we're talking. It's a long name, but 5.7 million results is the point here. So these are exact matches in Google. 3 words all in a row. We know what it means. It's the only form of consumer debt that has grown since the peak of consumer debt in 2008. Balances of student loans have eclipsed both auto and whatever loans. So student loan debt, I think that refers to the aggregate debt of all the students put together. It's not just one student loan, it's like the student loan debt of the nation. Again, they're talking about debt cancellation would be part of a grand bargain that would abolish the current federal student loan program. So this is actually interesting because maybe that's why it's trending right now. Maybe I was asked, because this is a hot item because Trump's trying to decide what to do with financing, bailouts, and student loan debt is a big chunk of the potential either debt or potential forgiveness bailout. So it's actually pretty good. So again, we know what it means. The breadth is pretty good. And the depth is pretty good. Just because it's a financial item that's spelled properly. And if you were to total all of the student loan debt in the world, which I of course have no idea, again, it'd be $1.56 trillion you would be canceling. So therefore, this expression has a major conceptual, financial, not impact, but meaning. It's very meaningful in the current news cycle, in the current economy. It's a little bit long, but it's not that long. It's easy to spell and say. It'll always have value. The plural means something, I guess, student loan debts instead of student loan debt. The debts are the actual individual one at a time. Student loan debt is the aggregate of all of those debts. So studentloandebt.com, we're going to pick a price. Do you guys have any idea? Studentloandebt.com. It's just long, and it's easy to get around and use a different name and not use that one, which means people wouldn't pay a high price for it. So it's hard to say. I'm going to say $3,000. Okay, one more. Um, 3D genome mapping. Sounds a little bit like one we did before last week, but not the exact same. Okay, 3D genome mapping. It's really long, but it means something. 3D genome mapping. Genome mapping means something, and then obviously 3D would be a better way, a more modern way, the CRISPR type of genetic modeling. So I messed up my quotes, which gave me the wrong number. You got to put it in quotes, and the first result probably isn't right because Google's messing with us. They're trying to see if we're a robot and if we know what we're doing. So again, we need to click this tiny little link at the bottom that they hid here. Repeat results with omitted included. Bye-bye. So we have 3,000 hits now within Google. And I'm just trying to decide. So I'm trying to decide, how many alternative ways one could say or spell this concept to get around paying for this domain. 3D genome map, 3D genome maps, 3D genomics. There's a lot of ways. The longer and more abstract the term is, the more there is ways of managing around it and getting similar names for a lower price. So that makes your appraisal here lower. So this is long, it's awkward, but conversely, it's in the medicine field. It's an emerging idea. It's spelled relatively easily, although you could ask how to spell 3D. Somebody could actually spell out the words. So again, it's a sort of a guessing game. There's no correct answer here, but this is not a very popular expression. A buyer could easily do without it. It doesn't have a lot of depth to a buyer. It has a relatively low to medium breadth as far as number of buyers that could conceptually like it. So it's just not that great. So 3D genome mapping, $2,000. It's the story of our life. So I think that's about it for domain names. Do you guys have any? I'm sorry, I'm trying to type this. 3dgenomemapping.com, another 2,000. That's what I said. You guys have anything else to ask about other than domain names before we end for the day? Because we're already a half an hour over. But it's awesome. I appreciate everybody's interest, and the time just flies. I could have talked to Paul forever about a lot of stuff from our life, but he had a bad sound connection, and we were taking up too much time. But the point is it's no trouble filling up time here, because the other weeks I'm going to have 2 guests, and we're going to have better audio and video potentially, and we're going to ask about different subjects and do these domain appraisals. I'm really not trying to do your domain appraisals for you. I'm trying to teach you how to do domain appraising for yourself. So I'm going to go back to my list here and see if you guys had any other questions. The other domains you guys can bring me next week, and I'll appraise them if I missed any. Okay, cool. Well, I think I did it then. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope you'll join again next week. We have Krista Renee Gable. That's going to be awesome. And we probably have 1 or 2 other guests next week. And, I really want everybody to join and keep improving every week as far as the quality of the content and, keeping the clarity of the sound and the guests and keeping everybody enthusiastic, good shows. So I'm just learning here. I barely know what I'm doing. Hopefully we're adding a tiny bit of value, and each week we're going to do more and better. And so I really appreciate everybody's help, and I hope you'll join next week. Tell your friends to join. You can go back, and I'm going to save a copy of this on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch the YouTube version with the other ones. You can see the last 2 weeks on YouTube currently. So thank you all so much for everything. I hope you have a fabulous week and do well. Peace to you.